good? You can hear us. Hi everyone. I want to welcome you to our backyard. We decided that we were going to try out a little bit of a different venue for this ritual and the ceremony, mostly just because it's really nice outside. It gets really loud at the shop sometimes, and we just wanted to be able to just kind of change it up a little bit. So we're really glad that you're joining us for our MAY-bun celebration. And I wanted to talk a little bit about MAY-bun and what it is. MAY-bun is one of several harvest celebrations. If you were with us for Litha or Lunasa, that was the first of the fall harvests that we celebrate in the fall season. And this is wrapping up towards the end of the fall harvest season to give thanks for the last of the grains and the fruits and everything that are plentiful within a community. And traditionally, MAY-bun was celebrated as a feast that everybody in the community came together and they brought their bounty or their harvest or the things that they gathered or the things that they cultivated through the fall harvest. So if you were an apple farmer, you brought your apples. If you were a grain farmer, you brought grain. If you were an animal herder, then you would bring the animal or the meat to the feast. And it was a gathering of the community to come together to share in the gratitude that they had for the abundance of the fall season and for the harvest. There are a lot of different ways of celebrating MAY-bun. Every year we've decided that we want to celebrate it in a Norse style. There's not a lot of information or resources out there about Norse traditions or Norse paganism or Norse rituals, mostly just because it was recorded, it was very limited recorded, and so there isn't a set way of doing it. But we wanted to give you kind of an exposure or a little bit of a sense of how different traditions might celebrate it. You're going to see some similarities, you're going to see some differences, but I wanted to kind of give you an overview of what is on our altar, since it is a Norse set of an altar. So we are going to be celebrating and calling in Frey and Freya, and Terry's going to talk a little bit about each one of those deities, and then we'll get ready to start the ritual.
So first off, we talk about what a blot is. A blot literally translates into blood, but it's not a blood sacrifice. It means more of either like, it does mean a sacrifice, but it also kind of means a worship as well, or a ceremony. And so what the idea of a blot was that you were giving words to your intent and sharing that with not just your community, but also with the gods, because the Norse believed that their gods were very much a part of their lives. They didn't necessarily talk back to them, but they were always present, they were always there. And so a blot was a way to give energy to their intent and to what the things that they were asking for. So instead of praying, they would most often do like a blot. And blots, just like Myra said, we don't really know how they were done, but if we keep in with the tradition of most Norse ceremonies and Norse traditions, if we keep that in mind, it can be anything that you need it to be at that time. And you didn't just do it during the sabbats or anything like that during the year. You could do it whenever you needed to. So a blot really sounded a lot like the kind of rituals or ceremonies that most modern pagans do now. And you can tailor a blot to whatever you need it to be. It can be as short as you need it to be. It can be as long as you need it to be. It can be easy or complicated. It's really kind of up to the individual user and how often that they needed to do that. So now we're going to talk about a little bit about the two deities that we're going to be invoking into our blot today. And so ladies first, we're going to talk about Lady Frey. And Lady Frey is one of the Vanir. So there's two groups of gods in the Norse tradition. There was the Aesir and the Vanir. And the Vanir were more of a fertility, earth group of deities. So she is associated with fertility, but not with farming, which is unusual in the Norse aspect, because the Norse themselves were warriors and farmers, and so a lot of their deities have dual purposes in somehow agricultural and warlike tradition. Well, Lady Frey doesn't have that dual aspect as much. She is a Vanir, but her fertility is more in that of the fertility within human sexuality, not within agriculture itself. But she's also well known because she is a war goddess, and she is also the chief female deity for magic in the Norse tradition. But her fertility comes not as from the earth, but from people, from each other. Lord Frey, he's the brother of Freya, and so in that aspect, he is a part of the Vanir, and he is a fertility goddess in the aspect of fertility from the earth, agriculture, animals, beasts, but also he was called upon for marriages, to be the male aspect in marriages, and to ask for fertility in a marriage so that they would have children, healthy children. He's also in the aspect of fertility as in the aspect of wealth, because in the Norse, agricultural fertility meant wealth. The more agricultural products that you had, the more wealthy that you were. And so in that aspect, he's also a god of wealth in the Norse tradition.
A couple of things that we have on the altar. We have bread. That's going to be something that we're going to use in the ritual. We have corn, and like I said, if I ever put food on the altar, it's usually because I want to bless it, because we're going to eat it later, and that way we're incorporating that magic into us and into our bodies. We have a few sweet potatoes that we grew back here in grow beds. So, and I also put an apple. An apple is a traditional symbol for MAY-bun. And the reason why it's a traditional symbol is because it reminds us that there's magic in everything. And the biggest reason in this is because you can see perhaps here, inside the apple's core is a star, is a pentagram, and the star is a reminder that we can always find magic within. And the same thing like with these types of rituals and ceremonies, even though we may do them and craft them and write them in a very specific way, you can build a ritual, build a ceremony any way that you want to, any way that you're comfortable with it, And so I want to encourage you guys to do that. Perhaps gather, virtually with friends this time around or this season, and just have fun with how you want to celebrate, who you want to celebrate to. So with that, we're going to get started.
Today we gather and we celebrate the second shedding and the winter finding. Mabon coincides with the Norse fall feast known as Haustblot, and the word blot means blood, and the shedding represents the fall of the harvest as it is cut down. And with all harvests, there's always a sacrifice to give back to the gods as thanks for their blessings and to ask them for favor during the time of the tough months ahead.
The fall equinox is the moment when summer and winter find balance just for a moment. Brace yourselves for longer nights and the cold and darkness of winter. Let the fires warm us, protect us, and give us light as we wind our way towards winter. Our harvest has been plentiful, and let us celebrate all the blessings and fortunes of this year.
We cast a sign of power and protection. Let it encircle this sacred space, allowing nothing unwelcome to enter it. We call upon the hammer to hold and hallow this sacred steed. Satyr, weave the quarters.
Nordri, mighty dwarf who holds up the northern quarter of the sky, I call to you to come to this place and join us. You who bring stability and manifestation to the world, help us to guide the souls of the dead. May they find Valhalla. Let them sign into the great halls with our ancestors until the final battle begins. Help us to stabilize the energies of this world and bring order out of chaos. Hail Nordri.
Hail Nordri. Ostri, mighty dwarf who holds up the eastern quarter of the sky, I call upon you to come to this place and join us, you who bring clarity and illumination to the world in a time during which we so desperately need it. Come to this place with the light of new beginnings and clear communication. Hail Ostri.
Hail Ostri.
Sudri, mighty dwarf who holds up the southern quarter of the sky. I call to you. Come to this place and join us, you who bring creation and transformation to the world. Bring the fires of triumph, the passion needed for victory, and the warmth of the hearth. Hail Sudri.
Hail Sudri. Vestri, mighty dwarf who holds up the western quarter of the sky, I call to you to come to this place and join us. You who brings cleansing and purification to the world, help us to wash away the pain of loss, and help us to find solace and peace within ourselves and intuition's guidance. Hail Vestri.
Hail Vestri. Oh, sorry.
We stand in sacred Midgard, where the worlds meet. We stand where the roots of the great tree expand below us.
We stand while the branches of Yggdrasil stretch out above us. We stand in sacred Midgard, the center of above and below. We call upon the great god of the Vanir. Hail, Frey, lord of the fields, golden of hair as the fields of wheat, bringing riches of heart and hearth to noble and common folk alike. We hail you with the bounty that springs forth and falls again to nourish us. We hail you, mighty boar in flight, lord of the phallus that gives life, lord of love that is bound to land, love that is bound with commitment, love that does not come easily, as one must toil for the harvest. Teach us that love is worth working for, and that work is worth loving, and that neither lives long without the other. Lord Frey, Golden One, husband of Gerda, the Ithran bride, you who can warm the coldest heart, you who make the grain spring forth, show us faith in every springtime, and we praise you, we worship you, and we welcome you into our lives. Grant us your presence. Hail, Frey.
Hail Frey. We call upon the great goddess of the Vanir, Freya, mistress of magic and the art of the satyr. Teach us as you taught the Allfather, Odin, she who flies through the night with her falcon feather cloak. We invoke your powers as warrior to help protect our hearth and home. Grant us prosperity and riches. Surround us with gold and jewels. She who wears the necklace of Brisingamen, gifted by pleasure, she who is wanted by giants and by men, for the power of sexuality and fertility, grant us beauty and love. As we honor yours, embrace us as you would your daughters and your Valkyrie. For we are your children. We praise you, we worship you, and we welcome you into our lives. Grant us your presence. Hail Freya.
Hail, Freya. Mighty ones, shining Aesir and Vanir, we welcome you to our hearth.
Ancient ones, Althir and Disir, ancestral fathers and mothers, we welcome you to our hearth.
Wise ones, land and Haustblot, spirits of the land and house, we welcome you to our hearth.
Beloved friends and family, we welcome you to our hearth.
The first bread is baked, and we give thanks to the gods and celebrate in their honor. From the sun to the earth, from the earth to the seed, from the seed to the blade, from the blade to the bread. We thank you for your gifts, and we are ever grateful and give you the first of our harvest in thanks.
The mead is brewed, we thank the gods and celebrate in their honor. From the rain to the flowers, from the flowers to the bees, from the bees to the honey, from the honey to the mead. We give you thanks for your gifts, and we are ever grateful, and give you the first of our harvest in thanks. I forgot that.
Challenge right there to you.
Thought you were reading this out. Yep.
We must give thanks for all of our blessings in order to make room for more. And when we speak our thanks, we acknowledge it and send a gratitude to the gods. Take a moment and tell us in your messages what you are thankful for.
So if you want to type up something that you are thankful for, one of the messages of this blot and part of sacrifice is, we've given the first of bread, we've given the first of need, and that we have to make room for the bounty and we can make room for the harvest. And so part of that is being thankful for what we have and what we've received. And so in order to make more room. So what are you thankful for? On the spot.
On the spot. On the spot, I am thankful for health, for the health of my family, especially during this year. And may that health continue.
I'm thankful for, even though we've had all these challenges this year and how hard this year was and how stressful it's been, the challenges have really forced us to expand and grow beyond what we thought our limits were. I would have never thought a year ago that we would possibly be where we're at today, and I mean that not just from the business of Hearth Wisdom Store, but across the board, as far as, how we've had to stretch and grow as people this year, and how we've had to stretch and grow as a society and everything. And change and growth is painful, and that's why they call them growing pains. But I'm incredibly grateful that we are able to discover something about ourselves that we are capable of, and to find new boundaries or new heights that we can get to.
I'll speak up first.
Okay.
I'm thankful for friends who are always there and continue to push and encourage me, and even when I don't like the change, they still are right there giving me the nudge. Okay, from chat we have Linda, who is thankful for her job and her abundance during this time. Sarah is thankful for her health and the health of her family during COVID, and also for keeping her job. Kevin is thankful for their jobs and family and friends. Destiny is thankful for family and their health. James is thankful for the continuing health of his loved ones. And why do you do that? And our enduring optimism for the year to come. Robin is thankful for her family, friends, and health. Molly is thankful for her friends who support her through struggles and giving her strength to carry on when she is weak, and the courage to continue to grow and seek truth in the world around her. Shelby is thankful for her family, both blood and by oath, and for her job and love. Linda, thankful for her health and health of her friends and family. Jack is thankful to be employed and thankful that his cat survived surgery and tested negative for cancer. Very thankful for that. And he's thankful that he found himself coming back to his hobbies and mental health improving. Amanda is thankful for the friends and family that have stood by her side through everything that has happened this year. And Amanda S., the first one was Amanda H., the second one is Amanda S. and Kaya, who are thankful for all of the people at Hearth Wisdom and those around them. I'm going to probably miss this one. Lana is thankful for her family who support her in her beliefs. Erin is thankful for all the love that she has in her life, both given and received, the food on her table to nourish her body, and the strength, compassion, and patience to carry on through and help as much as she is able with everything that is happening right now. Destiny is thankful for family's health and the support of loved ones that they are giving her in her journey. April is thankful for family, friends, and health. Michelle is thankful that the powers that be are still giving her the strength every day.
Thank you so much for sharing what you're thankful for. If we were unable to get to it during this broadcast, we apologize, but please keep sending us your comments so that others, as they view this video, will be able to see what you're thankful for. By giving voice, even if it is in a text, to what you are thankful for, you're sharing it, and thereby sending it out to the gods who are always with us, and they love to hear what you're thankful for, and they'll send it back to you.
We always got to give gratitude whenever we're asking for favor. You know, it's not enough just to constantly ask for the gods to intercede, or the guides to be always present. You always got to give some type of thanks. You know, whether that is, and with the Norse, they would prefer it in the form of gratitude and words and a show. I also wanted to add to that, I'm incredibly thankful for my team at the store. Oh my gosh, we have the best team, the best people, and I know that sounds like it's coming from a very biased position, but I don't think you guys know how hard they work. You know, they are there before opening, there after closing, there after hours. They are constantly looking out for you guys and working for you and trying to give you the best experience and the best opportunity to express yourself on your own spiritual path, no matter what it is. And so I know the team is going to see this a little bit later. I love you guys so much, and we're so thankful for you.
And something that Mara touched on is giving thanks to the gods, giving them offerings, not just when you ask for something, but to always give them something. Think back to the friend who only talks to you when they need something from you. You're less inclined to give of yourself for that person. But someone who always shows up, who's always saying thanks for being there, even when you haven't done anything for them, that's how the gods see. That's how they see us. And so, our offerings here that we are giving to the gods will go to the gods. I know some of you are thinking, "Wow, you guys are going to drink all that mead." No. Maybe this meat a little bit, but the rest of it has been offered, and therefore it is going to the gods.
And if you ever have any questions about any of that, feel free to just message us. You know, we'd love to share information and knowledge with you guys. Tara, do we have any more things?
A couple.
Hang on, just a second. We want to give everyone the time to participate.
And I want to point out here how our ritual has drawn the critters towards us. Haven't heard a cicada for months, and then right as we're doing this, one pop. Yeah, they want to come up and voice what they have to say as well.
We've got some lizards on the patio.
You got some lizards coming out. Wonder what the heck.
Trucking right through.
Cat wanted to be out here. He can't be out here. Dog wanted to be out here. So he can be out there. Oop, and we have some blackbirds too in the background. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to show up for us. Okay, Tara, what are the things?
Arctos, I hope I pronounced that fairly close, is thankful for the undying love and support of their best friends, with whom without they wouldn't have gotten through the quarantine in good spirits. Anna is thankful for family and close friends which have become family. Crystal is thankful for her husband who supports her in her spiritual journey without judgment. And Lakin is thankful for her family and her health.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you
so
guys.
much.
We appreciate that.
So now we're going to close this out. As much as we would love to stay on and talk and hear back from you all,
we'll be looking online.
We'll
see
online.
your comments later.
And we will keep this video up online so that others can share with your thanks.
One more real quick. Shannon is thankful for her health, the health of her family, and the growing strength of friendships and relationships. Chelsea, who is with Shannon, is thankful for health, her family's health, and the support of her friends and family for new opportunities to come.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
No more.
The gods have given us blessings and gifts. They give us the earth to nourish us, and the wind to set our sails, the sun to warm us, and the oceans to inspire us. This has been a rough year of seeing positive when there's so much negative. Challenge and change will make us stronger, though. It forces us to bend and break and to remake ourselves over and over again. And in doing so, we become stronger. As the sun begins to dwindle and the days become shorter and the nights longer, it's time to finally rest. A time to retreat, reflect, renew, and rebuild. May the gods continue to bless us and bring us relief soon. Wise ones, ancient ones, and mighty ones, we thank you for your attendance in this stead tonight. As you depart, may you carry with you the thoughts and prayers of your kin who dwell in Midgard. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell. This blot is done. May it strengthen us in our devotion to the gods and goddesses of our ancestors, and renew in our hearts our determination to live worthy lives. May we go forth from here tonight with all the greater resolve to live free and true, with courage, with trust in our strength, and honoring the bonds of kinship until we are gathered to the gods again.
All right, with that, you guys, hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
And you're done.